All right, shalom, shalom. I'm out here again on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. But basically, I just want to get into how the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. You know, the Most High is in control of everything, right? And this man is about to come with his new world order. But the Lord said not to fear, those things which thou shalt suffer. Because Most High is controlling this man. He's behind all this, We don't really act on our own will. Because he's coming to push this MOTB, Mark of the Beast, microchip system. And now with the implementation of this new 6G technology, also with what they call the Internet of Bodies. A little while, I'm going to do a further video on it. But first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Baruch Yahweh, Baruch Yahushai, Baruch Yahweh, Baruch Yahushai, Baruch Yahweh, Baruch Yahushai. I give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, great notes, going to taught us his word. And peace and salutations to the whole full elect across the planet Earth, pushing this truth in sincerity, in the spirit, and in truth. So yeah, it's like this new 6G is going to be linked with that microchip technology. They're moving fast on it. Basically, it's just from the Google search, the AI overview. I'm going to do a video and just get into more in-depth articles about it. But it says the 6G Internet of Bodies, or the IOB concept, explores connecting human bodies to networks via sensors, wearables, implants, and ingestibles, right? For real-time health monitoring, data analysis, and augmented human capabilities, leveraging 6G's ultra-low latency and high speeds to enable precision medicine, remote surgery, and immersive digital experiences. Though it raises privacy, security, and ethical concerns, researchers are even looking into using human body itself as channeling for energy and data transmission to power these devices. So yeah, man, that's that, transhumanism, mixing, human bodies with technology. But, environmental key applications, benefits, environmental sensing, body-worn sensors could gather data for environmental monitoring, speed, connectivity, there's a little more on it, but that's the point. Augmented human capabilities, man. They're gonna be able to control, your body with these things. Enhancing humans, but it's all gonna be part of that, that microchip. The Lord said not to take that, but the point in this lesson is that the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is in control of everything. He ruleth in the kingdom of men. Right? First scripture is Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, man. So it ain't like Satan is working independently from himself, spiritual demon Satan, He's in control of the Most High. He's in control under the Most High. The Lord controls the light, and He creates darkness. He makes peace and creates evil. At the end of the day, man, that's why you should have that fear for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. The point being, He ruleth in the kingdom of men. He sets up kings and brings down kings. This is Daniel's 4. It's 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. Yeah, man. So the Most High set up this man to do what he's doing. He's controlling, man. So that's why you should have none of these fears of what's coming upon this place. And we're seeing it, you know, in full time, in real time now, with the technology, the increase in knowledge, 6G technology, microchip, even geopolitics, what's going on around the world. The prophecy was that they shall hate the whore. When you see these NATO nations turning against America, right? But he says to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? And giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. In this particular kingdom, man, the base of men is ruling, man. But the Most High, the power of the Lord, man. He took the man out the caves. Esau, a so-called white man, put him up in this position of power, right? And brought down the Israelites, brought us down to a very low level, the tail, in this society. But it's all temporary. This is same book of Daniel 2:21. He changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. Right? So he changeth the times and the seasons. He's in control of all that. And he removeth kings and setteth up kings, man. And Donald Trump is a king. They call him president in today's terminology, but he's the king of America, king of the world, pretty much. And he's doing exactly what the Lord wants him to do, It says, he removeth kings and setteth up kings. And he's about to remove this man as well, man. He's going to let him get so far, until he brings him down. But at the end of the day, it's not in us to direct, our own steps. This is Jeremiah 10:23. Lord, I know that it's not that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Yeah, so it's not up to us, It's all, according to the Most High's will. For what he wants to use you for your purpose. That's why, you always want to pray. The Lord keeps you in the spirit. Renew a new spirit within you daily. And that you walk that right path, no matter what happens, because we're not in control. It says, I know that the way of man is not in himself. So you may have a plan that you think you're going to do. The Lord has a whole other plan, for you, right? And for these different leaders and these governors, these kings. Right now, his determination is to gather the nations, and set them up over in the Middle East to destroy them, so that the Yahushua can go back and conquer these nations, and deliver his men, his elect, his hopeful elect, and then establish the kingdom of heaven on the planet Earth. That's the Lord's determination. But first, all these things must come to pass. The word is a man that he shall not lie. His word has to come to pass. His prophecies have to come to pass. And right now we have to deal with, the time of Jacob's trouble. Martial law, all that, as well as, hour of temptation has to be pushed, concentration camps, and ultimately that World War III. And that nuclear destruction, man. Prophecy, man. The spirit of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy. So these are the things that we should be talking about, warning our people about this. The Lord said, give them warning from me. Quick hit, but I'll do another video on that 6G. There was a terminology that I saw in another Google search that I did. It's not showing up now, but basically it goes into you'll be able to control your body, right? That 6G internet, that's why they call it the Internet of Bodies. If you can put it in your body, you'll be able to control your senses, something like human senses. And you'll be able to shut off the way you walk. You'll be able to stop you from walking. You'll be able to stop you from talking, stop you from seeing, your vision, turn off different things in your body, your senses. All that technology will be able to do all that. That's why the Lord said, don't take that chip, man, that digital all, man. Because then he'll be able to really control your spirit. If you take that thing, man, he'll be able to control you and your life whenever he wants. He'll shut off your vision. Shut off your hearing, shut off your speech if you don't, comply to the will of what he wants, his man wants. So you take that chip. You're telling Esau that, you want him to be your master over you, But yeah, just a little bit more. Job 33. 15. Because the Lord puts, he somewhat downloads, information of what you're going to do that day. This is Job 33:15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. So when you're sleeping at night, and you fall into that deep sleep, they call it the REM or REM. When you're really into that state of rest, you start to dream in that state and all that. Then he opened up the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Yes, Lord, he downloads what you're going to do for that day. That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. So that he may withdraw you from your purpose, because we all had our own goals and purposes that we set for ourselves. Moved all the way across the country to pursue something, But the Lord said he's going to withdraw man from his purpose and use you for his, and use what the Lord wants you to do, So it's a beautiful thing. It's also a scary thing as well. That's what he's doing with Esau right now, man. And these men that are in power, he's putting in the spirit of these men to do his will. As it says in Revelation 17:17, or 17, let me get that. Yeah, I started 16, Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, and this is a popular topic right now. What's going on? This prophecy is coming to pass right now. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, ye shall hate the whore, shall make her naked, or shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So we all know the EU, the NATO, the whore is referring to America, and they're turning on America right now. So that prophecy is coming to pass. And soon they're going to burn her with fire. They're going to come together against America and launch those missiles. This is the point, verse 17. For the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill his will. The Most High put in their hearts meaning their mind, right? To fulfill his will, man. Just like how the Most High had to, change the mind of Pharaoh. He had to believe Pharaoh, he didn't want to go after it, but it was like put it in his mind to go after it, to keep the children of Israel, to go after them, so the Lord can show his power. Same thing in this time, the war in heaven. The Lord's got to put it in the minds of these generals and these fighters to fight Yahushua when he comes back. He's got to put it in their hearts and their mind to do it, For the Most High have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So yeah, man, that's the point. Back in Job 33 and 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon men and slumbereth upon the bed, then he opened up the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. Yeah, man, so it's all about the Lord's will and the Lord's determination, man. So he's in control of all this, man. That's why the Lord said, fear none of those things, man. For the Most High is your guide. The Lord is going to be your guide in these end times, man. He's controlling everything, man. The Lord said, fear not the man that can harm the body, but the man that can destroy the body, the Lord that can destroy the body in hell, man. Destroy the soul in hell, man. So you don't fear the man that can put your body to death. The Lord said there is going to be martyrs, There are going to be martyrs on top. But those men are going to be equipped and able to handle and deal with that. He's going to give those men the spirit to deal with that death. All you have to do is just stay strong and don't give up the faith, Scripture is James. There's a precept on that, man. Because you always want to, whatever it is in your mind that you feel that you want to do, you want to humble yourself down and say, Lord willing, Lord will, I'll do this. You make plans to take a little vacation, you go up to the beach, up the coast, or make plans to visit your family, buy a plane ticket, in your mind, like, Lord will, man, I'm going to go visit my family, Lord will. I'm going to go to this place, Lord will, I'm going to do this, Lord will, I'm going to do that. Because at the end of the day, it's the Most High's purpose of what's going on, man. It's not up to us. Yeah, this is James 4:13. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, then vanish away. And we don't know what tomorrow may bring. Tomorrow may be your last day on the planet Earth. An hour from now may be your last day. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or do that. But now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. So yeah, man, that's why you always want to, whether you're speaking with somebody or in your mind, you humble yourself down, be like, yeah, the Lord will, I can do this. The Lord will, I can do that. Because you don't know what tomorrow may bring on the next day. The Lord controls everything and what we're doing. God, there's another one. It's Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Yeah, our thoughts aren't the Most High's thoughts. You can't really understand the ways, If you're confused about what's going on, or, just go with the flow. How can a man understand his own way? The man's going to love the Lord. The Lord is in control. Yeah. The Lord is in control of this devil as well. Just read it in the AMP. It says, man's steps are ordered and ordained by the Lord, Yahushua. How then can a man fully understand his way? Our steps are ordered and ordained by the Lord. Right? So you just have to just go with the flow, man, and pray that the Lord just keeps you in the spirit at all times and renew his spirit within you daily. That keeps you going on the right path, you know. How can a man understand, you know? It says, man's going to love the Lord. The AMP, it says, man's steps are ordered and ordained by the Lord, man. So it can be a beautiful thing, it can be a scary thing, but, you know, take one day at a time in this truth, man. And just pray, you know, that you remain on the right path and in the spirit. And that you're fulfilling the will of Yahushua. Yes, my path may not be your path may not be my path, but it's all ordained at the end of the day by Yahushua. Yeah, the last scripture, you know, because the Most High is in control of this man, you know. He's going to let him get so far, then he's going to bring him down, you know. The script has already been written. The playbook has already been written. We just have to live through it. The Israelites, you know, the elect, the hopeful elect of Israel already has the victory, man. You just got to play your part and just, you know, stay faithful. Pray that your faith don't fail in these days, man. Pray that you're not set up to fail. Pray that you're not set up, you know, to take that chip, you know. It's Job 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. That wicked there is talking about Esau, man. You look at that word wicked, the blue letter. Where there's Rashai, in Hebrew, called the wicked, criminal, guilty one guilty of a crime, man, the wicked. It says, the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, you know. Yeah, this man's triumphing is real short, man. It may seem like he's been ruling, well, he has been ruling for a long time, but when you compare that to the kingdom, all eternity, it's really a short time, man. This man's been ruling since the Greeks, you know, the Romans went down for a little bit, then he got back into power, Renaissance period, and he's been ruling ever since, up to this very day. That's a very short time compared to the rulership of Yahushua's kingdom, man, on the planet Earth. That kingdom's never going to go down. The Lord is going to establish, you know, that second covenant, to where we're never going to sin again, you know, we're never going to go off again. He's going to write the law on our inward parts. So we're never going to go into slavery. We're never going to get brought down again. Right? So it's going to be an eternal kingdom. No nation's going to rise up, right? Rise up. We're not going to be all confederate. All these heathen nations are going to be all confederate against us. You know, band together, take us down. That's not going to happen ever again, man. So yeah, for the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mounts up to the heavens, and his heads reach up to the clouds. Yeah, the Lord says when he establishes his nest in the clouds, thence will I bring thee down. And I was talking about his space program. It says, you know, Apollo missions, you know, in the 60s and 70s. And he established his nest up in the heavens, man. And that's when the Lord started breaking him down, slowly ever since the 70s. That's when America's power began to kind of, you know, go downwards. It was during the 70s. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And it says, once this man goes down, he serves in slavery 1,000 years, He's gonna be wiped out. You know, he's gonna be wiped out forever, genocided. And just like how you perish like your dung, yeah, he shall perish forever like his own dung. You know, when you use the restroom, you flush it down, you clean yourself up, wash your hands. You don't think about that, or that bodily waste. You don't think about it ever again. That's how the Lord's comparing it to this man. He shall perish forever like his own dung, which I've seen. And they which have seen him shall say, where is he? Yeah, where is this Esau, man? Where's this so-called white man at, man? He shall be gone forever. He shall fly away as a dream. It shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. And, you know, you have those dreams. You know, rarely remember. You don't ever remember your dream, man. You may have a regular dream. Some dreams may stick out more than others. For the most part, once you get up, you do your morning shower, you go to work, you don't remember what you dreamt about. You know. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Yeah, you're not gonna see this man. He's gonna be, you know, completely gone. You know. But the Most High is gonna allow him to get to a certain spot, you know, to fulfill his will, to be that weapon against 2/3 of our people. You know. This is I just want to skip down to verse 22. Jump down to verse 42. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Now that wicked there, that's talking about Israel, our people. The fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Yeah, right when he starts to bring in this new world order, Jacob's gonna buck up, man. Look at that word wicked in the 22nd verse, where there's a mal, it means a laborer, sufferer. You know, the laborers here, you know, the workers. That's Jake here in America. So every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Yeah, the Most High is going to rouse him up, man. Jake is a young lion who shall rouse him up. So Most High is going to put that old spirit back in Jake. You know, got a little taste of it in 92 riots out in LA. 92, 93 riots. Jake was wilding out here. Knows how to put that old spirit back in him. That young lion riles him back up. Says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You know, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. And shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah, right when he's about to fill his belly. So the Most High, Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, is going to allow him to get to a certain part, you know, of his new world order. He's going to let him get him off the ground. Technology, the 6G, Internet of Bodies, microchip, you know, concentration camps, guillotines, mass death all over the place. He's going to allow him to get to a certain point. To put that whooping, that one last whooping on you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He's going to let him get so far. But then, you know, it says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast a fury upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Yeah, he shall flee from the iron weapon, man. It's that nuclear missiles, that destruction. But the bow is going to strike him through, no matter where he goes. You know, he's not going to escape his judgment. Some of the elites will escape it, but they're going to be the first fruits of slavery, man. Slovakia. Book of Amos 9:2. They're going to try to flee from this iron weapon, but the Most High he's going to escape his judgment. Amos 9:2, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. If they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So as they dig into hell, they got these underground military bases, they call them domes. You got bases in these mountains, bases underground water, under the sea. Will they dig into hell, then my hand will take them. The elect's going to go up in there. Till they climb up to heaven, that's why I bring them down. Up there, International Space Station, chariots are going to be up there. Bring them down. Though they hide themselves on top of Mount Carmel, I will search and take them out. Thence though they be hid from my sight at the bottom of the sea. So Mount Carmel's they hide in these mountains. Though they be hid from my sight at the bottom of the sea, they got bases, in the oceans. Thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. The serpent's almost like Leviathan. Pop culture, they reference him as Godzilla, big sea serpent, Leviathan, Leviathan's gonna get him in place with them ships out there in the seas, so there's no escape. So basically, the Lord is in control. The script has already been written, all right? We just have to play it through. Most High is working on the minds of these leaders to bring in this new world order, ultimately bring in this World War III and this nuclear destruction to save the hopeful elect. Yahushua is going to come back to deliver his elect, those men, and it's going to be, we just have to live. It's going to be quick, we don't have that much time left. These prophecies are popping out the pages. Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right, landed on that. But Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahushai. Shabbai, Yasha Allah, Allah Yahah Nawah, Yahweh Achad, and Kwam Yasha Allah. Shalom.